welcome everybody to the Pioneer Cup, a semifinals bonanza in the APAC region. My name is Nightfire with two E's. I'm joined by my co-caster Jim, Retro Cat Rydell. Retro, how are you doing today?
Can't wait to see these one of the top teams play in this cup here today. It's going to be amazing. Yeah,
Jim's Drifters definitely played really good, and I mean both the teams obviously playing exceptionally well in the start of the region just yesterday. We already went through 4 matches played, and we're ready to dive into our first round in this series. It's a best of 5, and we have a couple of them this afternoon, so I'm definitely looking forward to jumping into the action.
Ball is in play
as we do kick things off here into an opening round. I'm not sure why we don't have the assets up, but we will try and troubleshoot that in a moment. For now, we'll just watch the game as Cookie Virtual pushing up with their team, trying to get set up for a nice shot on Gore. Sexy Aura tucked in on defense as that ball gets knocked over into the corner. Sexy Aura looking for a little bit of a vault forward here, and we'll see what we can get with a nice push, knocked up, and Skit's gonna drop back with a good save.
your cam's not on. All right. We are, in this game here. Looks like Skid is taking possession of the ball. Going to throw that the 711 Destroyer up there on Halo. Throwing it right back to his teammate here. W passing play from both teams here. Going straight up on that bridge. Throwing it straight to Clock. Throwing it straight to the bottom. Could this be in? Oh, that was really, 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 really close. As it's going to be punted over to the other side.
Skit gonna get control in the corner. Look to set themselves up for a push up through the center as Destroyer gets knocked back. Skit's max, and I'm confused. Are we casting the same game? Maybe I was in the wrong arena. I think we went to the wrong arena there. We apologize for the technical difficulties. I may have to actually go to an intermission and troubleshoot our scoreboard here. So do give me a second. We will do our best to sort out our technical issues. I do apologize. Okay, we've sorted our technical difficulties, and just in time for the round 2 to start. We'll hit the clock start, and we don't know who scored the first goal yet. We don't know who won the first round, but we are into round 2 now, and everything is A-okay. No problems.
And see your cam, by the way.
Okay, just kidding. Problems. As we do get into the sewers here, Ratson going to be a rat working through the tunnels, trying to get set up for the goal. Shredda going to defend in that back corner. An LFC tree working their way up. Relo going to be scooping up that ball here, as we do have Outlaws in red, Jim's Drifters in blue, technically green, as Ratson scoops the ball up again down in the sewers. The specialization trying to dive in for a goal and can't quite get it.
Gotta say, Ratson has been playing in that sewer play a lot. I mean, he is called Ratson for all. Looks they are taking possession, booming that straight onto Jim Drifter's side of the court here. Looks like they have taken possession of the ball, throwing that up. Just gonna boom that across the field, but it's just gonna be a W pass play straight to his teammates. Gotta say that was pretty. It looks like they were under sewers right now, going straight up. Looking for a pass right here. Gets that pass, but gets just blocked by the opposite opponent from the team.
Yeah, a nice job there by Shredda in that midfield as Nuthul is trying to work up. Good cross to LFC Tree and a little bit of a cam jam denial. Ozzy and this squad battling for control through the midfield, and they can't quite get it. LFC Tree able to deny Rilo the ball up through the midfield, and now again, like you said, just kind of dancing around down into the sewers, trying to find some sort of momentum here. LFC Tree going to get denied by the geometry, unfortunately. You hate to see it when it ends up getting knocked with trying to juggle through here, getting some boost and then working through the tunnels. Jim Drifter's squad just unable to get momentum going and unable to really get a good solid push up through that front line.
I do gotta say, they are giving them that pressure there, punishing them from going to each side. Really great defensive play on both teams overall. Looks like they're going to be pushing in that corner over there. Looks like he has taken possession of the ball, passing straight up to his teammate with almost in. Just gonna say that was just really bad on geometry there, hitting the rim of the goal, going to the other side, booming that straight back down to another pass straight on the halo, and it is just a back and forth here. Going to them, it's gonna be in with the grand slam.
Just dribbled through there, and the first point on the board for Outlaws. LFC Tree was chasing it. Trying to scramble back and defend it. An intercept from Shredda, wide open goal, and that's an extra point tacked on, just like that. It's been almost 3 minutes with no points scored in round 2, and suddenly Outlaws put 2 up on the board.
Action restart.
That is great. We are at 2-0 right now, and with 2 minutes remaining on the clock, I think Jim's Drippers could take this in, going in with their first point. Gotta love that. Looks like Electro is taking possession of the ball, staying at nest here, waiting for an opportunity. Just waiting out. Is he gonna pass? Is he just gonna go forward? Is he gonna pressure? Just wasting time here.
Yep.
I don't think that is a really great opportunity because there is not much time in the back. It looks like they're just gonna be pressuring, throwing that up there, passing it straight to his teammates over there. Yeah, going straight from that, almost in.
Great block from LFC Tree, and they're going to try and rotate up for a push. A nice pass up to Nuthul. Scoops up the ball, gets up to the top. Halo looks for the slam dunk. No, can't find it, follows it up, and it's denied. What a beautiful save.
Beautiful save indeed. Gotta say, that was just a really, really brilliant save. Looks like they are going straight from clock here, going straight to going to logo. It's just booming that straight across the field. Just going to be a pass just right there to Ozzy.
Nice denial. Shredda working their way up in the corner and now pushing in for the side swing, trying to knock it off the side wall to get themselves set up for the push forward, but they can't. They're getting interrupted by Ratson, who's tackling and pushing, brawling into the corner for possession, but can't quite get set up for the pass. And suddenly Rilo's on a bit of a breakaway, looking for the shot on goal, but they fumble the ball behind him.
Yeah, gotta hate when you lose that ball control there. the speed, the more speed you go, the more the ball control, is more. It looks like the Elf Tree's gonna just slam that straight into the goal. Going zoom in, just gonna boom that. That is just gonna be another point for Gym Drifters here. Going 2-2, we are at a neck and neck tie because we are at the end of the game, going into overtime. Let's see who's gonna win this, folks. Rolling this over, going straight in. Nice defensive play right there. Ooh, looks like Rallo is taking possession, going straight in.
Cam Jam and Ratson defending here as LFC Tree pushes the team back into the corner. Interrupts, intercepts, no, can't quite get the ball. Rilo maintaining control, even though they are being overwhelmed. They are drawing out the defense, trying to get that cross pass set up and can't quite get it. Again, LFC on the front line, interrupting this setup from Outlaws.
LFC taking possession of the ball, passing over to his teammate right on the halo, passing it back. Oh, so close. Looks like they are on that little bridge play right there. Going to get stolen from throwing that over. Almost in. The goal is open right now. No defensive play. Could this be in? Not quite indeed, as they are playing this just really, really good defensively, because we are at a overtime state right now that both teams are going to feel a little bit of pressure here. Going straight from bridge, going straight. Another passing play. Could this be an
Just a little high. Ozzy going to scoop it up and toss it up to Nathul, who has been able to push through the midfield pretty successfully so far. A nice drop down into that sewer pass up to LFC, and they are just trying to get the team set up for a push on goal. A nice slap up. Ozzy crossing to Nathul. Nathul going to slam down to LFC, and LFC crosses up for the shot and misses it. The follow-up gets denied.
That was just a brilliant, just passing plays entirely, and then just that brilliant save right there, just slapping that over. The ball is they are just fighting for control of the ball.
Crazy.
Trying to get that in. Looks like they are taking possession, booming that over. Straight into sewers. Looks like Ozzy is taking possession of the ball, taking that up, throwing it to his teammate. Elf Tree takes possession, throwing that back over there to the other side.
Bit of a miss
looks
pass
like they are
there
taking.
as Cam Jam scoops it up, and Nathul going to try and slap it out of their zone. Can't quite get control, though, and neither team able to get the setup they want. That was a beautiful play we saw earlier. I wonder if Jim's Drifter is going to be able to set that up again. As LFC Tree takes it to the floor, takes it to the ceiling. Tries to do a little bit of ceiling carve there. Works their way up for the cross. The center, Ozzy's going to go for the shot on goal, and another denial. Unbelievable defense coming in here from this Jim Drifters squad.
Just jumping up there, just hitting that ball, just going, nope, not letting you put that in. Gotta love that defensive play from both teams, because we are in the end game here. Looks like they are taking possession of the ball right here, going straight up, going just throwing that, booming that over there straight to midfield.
This overtime has been longer than most of it's like got to have been a 3-4 minute overtime at this point, as these two teams cannot find any sort of gap in the armor of the defense. As Ratson gets the ball there, passes it over to Nuthul. This could be a good cross pass over to LFC, and that's a beautiful knock-in. That finally does put Jim's Drifters up, and they take their first round.
This game has united us all. Thank you for
Love to see it. A pretty dang thrilling opening couple of rounds here. And we missed the first one, but the second one goes into overtime for what felt like 3 or 4 minutes and filled with great defensive replays. That was exactly what I expected out of APAC Region Retro.
Yeah, that was a really intense game right there. They were really neck and neck during that long shot, trying to get their positions in order. But Jim's Drifters did get that passing play in the order and slams that straight into the goal. That was just brilliant there. That was amazing. Amazing goals. Amazing saves, very, very long overtime. Really love that overtime there.
Heck yeah, we're probably going to get more of it as we get into round 3, technically. As the clock starts and we dive in, the ball launches over to the corner in a big brawl. Everyone's stacked up looking for anything. But ultimately not able to find really much as we circle around through that corner. Rilo gets juked. LFC breaking away to the center, looking for the cross pass to Nuthul in the center down in, and an Electro denies it with a great defensive stand in the center goal.
That was a pretty good defensive play right there from that team. Looks like they are passing it straight over, going the cross right there. The cross doesn't really work out that as well. Looks like they are taking possession of the ball right there, throwing it down. Oh, gets stolen again. Just gaining speed. Rowley's taking possession of the ball, throwing it. Could this be in? Oh, hitting the rim right there as possession does go to LFC Tree right here. Passing it straight over to his teammate right on the halo.
Nuthul and LFC have had some great passing sequences. This Zoids with a great tackle does scoop up the ball, but is it going to result in anything from this Outlaws squad? Jim's Drifters in control in the midfield, but really just not able to get up through that defensive wall once it gets established. It is quite tough as we see again Electro holding things down on the back line and pushing that ball up again back into the midfield and just not allowing the Jim's Drifters team to set up. Jim's Drifters going again for a cross and again denied.
Looks like they are taking possession in this corner right there, just rooting through that corner right there. Mostly corner play, but it looks like LF Trees does take possession of the ball, passing it straight to Bridge, but doesn't really work out that well over there. Looks like Ozzy does have possession of the ball, gets it stolen. Looks like this Shredder is running straight down. The goal is open, chucking that in with a boom straight in. Who going first point, going the Outlaws.
You love to see them lock in that early lead, but they did it last round and then lost in overtime. So look at how quick we are already into the push. Great pass work coming in, and no, denied again on the defensive slam. Electro on point in that behind that goal there. Rilo with a good intercept. Ozzy is able to scoop it back up. A nice tackle to push Rilo out from contention, and Ozzy going to be able to work the way up through the midfield. Tries to pass up to their team, and that ends up hitting some geometry they weren't anticipating. Back into the sewers and back for brawling for this ball control in the midfield.
Gotta say they are straight onto Halo right now, taking that Halo play, chucking that straight over to his teammates, taking possession, gonna just slap that straight down because they are playing a bit of the midfield play right here, going straight under Sewer. Nice play under Sewer right here. But overall, looks like they are taking possession, throwing that over straight to over to the other team. The geometry isn't working in their favor.
No,
I have to say.
Oh, nice cross pass, but Shredda just missing that one. That could have been an opportunity for a 1-2 and potentially Outlaws piling on more points. Shredda does clear back as some big pressure from Nuthul here trying to get ball control. They're really just buying time. They've got a 1-point lead. It's not exactly enough to be overconfident and holding out. With 1:30, though, time is ticking, so there's not a lot of time left for Jim's Drifters to put some points on the board. They need to score right here as that cross pass gets intercepted by Shredda.
There is, I do indeed on that, there is not much time in the game left for Jim's Drifters, but I think if they do push through this defensive wall and get at 1 point, we could go see ourselves into another overtime here. Looks like they are taking possession of the ball right here. Looks like Elf Trees has taken it, going straight up the logo, just playing that midfield play, throwing it, just chucking it to the other team. Could this be on hitting the rim right there, going straight back to Elf Trees, rushing that, throwing that over, going to the other side, playing that straight up, going to Halo right here, going straight to Bridge, passing it over. Could this be an
Miss swipe there as Zoids tried to hit that one in. They're going to scoop up a boost, though, do a beautiful wall carve, toss it over for Shredda to intercept, slam to the ground, and 29 seconds on the clock. The ball floats back into Jim's Drifters zone as LSC does get a big boost. This could be a big play for them. They could take this one home full speed all the way around the corner, challenging the team, but no, again denied. No goal for Jim's Drifters.
Oh, holy, that was just, wow. Looks like they are just taking that. They're just going to go straight up. We are at 2 seconds on the meaning. If that ball hits the ground, then the round will be over here. So
that
if the Gym
concludes
Drifters
today's
could
game.
keep that up,
The beauty of drift ball
they could
knows no
possibly, and the
This
ball
is
has
Sir
hit the
Dimwat
ground
powering
here.
down until our next meeting in the stars.
Just going to the Outlaws here.
1 point is all it took in that round, and 2-3 in round 1. Jim's Drift, or actually round 2. Round 1 we missed, so I'm assuming then that, well, we'll figure out who won here momentarily, because we are still continuing on. So that's 3 round 4. Yeah, so one team is potentially at map point, and Outlaws have taken their first round that we've seen, because Gym Drifters took that last one. So I'm curious to see what we're going to get this afternoon in round number 4 of today, because so far the back and forth is exactly what I expected. When we jumped into APAC yesterday, it was tremendous. Like the pass play, the gameplay, we got to multiple overtimes, and we're going into, well, a huge long overtime. We just had almost another overtime there, and now a 4th round for this best of 5.
I'm indeed ready for this 4th round. Gonna be just excited here to see both teams play. Looks like they are gonna be kicking this off, throwing that straight up to his teammate right there, going straight on the midfield right here, looking for a pass here, going just getting hit right there. Looks like Ellis Tree is taking possession of the ball, going straight up on the hill, going straight to bridge. Could this be
Nice
in?
cross.
Pass it to his teammate with a slam into the goal.
What a goal.
Wow.
Really good cross pass there that puts that one in, and for the first time since we've been watching, Jim's Drifters take the early lead. I think it's been Outlaws scoring those early goals pretty consistently, and now Jim's Drifters have that early 1 point. A good cross pass to Rilo. No, just a touch wide. Rilo can get a bit of boost and try and push it up to the center, as Zoid battles for contention in the corner. And I just love to see the aggression from this defense getting really far out there. Also having that discipline of Aussie sticking into the goal. You know, they have a nice little formation that they set up. They don't overextend. And as I say that, overextend, no, LFC almost finds an opportunity battling against 3. Can't quite put it in. But, man, you love to see the breakaways.
Looks like they are throwing that straight up to there. Gonna chuck that over straight to Rallo right here. Going straight up. Could this be in? Chucking it in. But great defensive play right there. Gonna do a nice, beautiful ceiling carve on the ceiling. But trying to pass to his teammates. But gets just swooped up by the other team here. Looks like Shredda does take a possession of the ball. Going straight up from Halo. Going straight down. Passing it to his teammates right there. Passing it straight back. Oh, nice defensive play right there. Looks like Ozzy has taken possession of the ball, going straight up to Halo.
Yeah, really good defensive tackle there that denies that push from coming in. We've seen some great close shot on goals. A nice pass to Nuthul. No, they can't quite get it. Rilo going to bat the ball away, and a nice clear to reset us for Zoid to regain control. Keep things going for Jim's Drifters. They want to put a few more points on the board here. Up onto the top, Halo. Nuthul going to push up right to the center. Shot high and a little wide. Gets knocked out again from the zone. Aussie can't regain control, and maybe a chance for Outlaws to put a point on the board if they can just get out of the midfield.
Looks like Treese did take possession there. Hitting it over the nut here. Gonna slam that straight down into the goal. Beautiful pass play. Just whacking it right down into that goal right there. Looks like Electro is going to be taking possession. Waiting a bit here as Jim Drifters is at 2-0 right now. Wouldn't say Outlaws could waste a bit time here. Looks like they are taking possession right there. Going straight in. Throwing it. Nice steal right there. Save. Looks like they are taking this up. Shredda does take possession right there. Whacking it from Zoid. Just pin that over there. Going straight to playing in that corner right there. Going straight up to Cam Jam. Gonna hit that straight down of the sewer. Playing a little midfield play right here as Electro has taken possession of the ball and is passed over to the other team. They are just fighting in this side right here. Going straight down. Could this be in? Oh!
Goal!
First point
Really
on the
a goal
board
under
for Outlaws there,
Play
and
resumes.
they needed that one. Look at this fast stack blasting down, holding ball control. No, can't slam it in. Nothing can't follow it up, and so close to a point on the board there as Rilo battles for control. Gets the pass up to Shredda. Shredda has an open goal opportunity, misses it. They try and follow up and can't. Jim's Drifters still holding on with a minute left on the clock. Time is ticking. You're going to have to figure something out.
I mean, I would say time is ticking indeed, but we are still at 1-2 here, and this could still go into an overtime tie here. This looks like they are taking possession of the ball, chucking that right downfield. Just gonna be a pass just straight up to him. Nice defensive play from the other team there. Looks like Nuts has been taking possession of the ball, chucking it straight down the LF trees, chucking it straight back, almost in. Oh! Rebound shot! 3-1 going to Jim's Drifters in the lead here.
Drift ball resumes.
Really nice bit of teamwork coming in from this Jim squad right now. They're locking it in these later rounds, and Nuthul's going to scoop it up with an intercept, takes the open goal shot, and follows it up for a slam in.
Oh my
4-1, 2 seconds left. This round is pretty much locked in.
They're not wasting any time.
And I think they're still going to try and go for a shot on goal as
What
that
a
gets slammed
game.
into the ground.
What a moment. What
And
a privilege to share it with
I
all of you.
think, yeah, that is the series. So I do believe that I had the scores wrong, and Jim's Drifters have just taken their third win because this best of 5 is over. And like I said, we missed that first round, so congratulations to Jim Drifters for taking their first win in the round robin. We are going to be taking a quick break because we're going to get ready for our next series. We're going to jump right into another game, so don't go anywhere. More action here and on the other mainstream. It's APAC. And eventually, we're going to have a grand best-of-7 finals over on the mainstream where one of these teams will be crowned champion at the end of today. So a lot of Orion Drift left ahead of us. You're not going to want to miss it.
Prepare to start.
Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. And somebody's in.
Spud in the bottom, going absolutely crazy, getting the 2K.
Match point. Prepare to
Only
start.
Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. And somebody's
Go.
Spud in the bottom going absolutely crazy, getting the 2
Match point.
amazing!
I gotta agree, that did not take that long indeed. But it looks
We're
like they
back
are
on
taking
it.
possession
Here we go.
of the ball here. Trying to just gaining that speed right there. Just zooming, going straight on the halo right there. Whacking it down straight on the midfield. Going back and forth here. And the ball is just rolling here. Good, just pressuring. Nice defensive play right there. Going straight over the other side, going to Sewers. Looks like Cookie's just going to throw that down, but then it gets stolen by Cam Jam. Cam Jam rushing straight, but gets just entirely just played right there. They are taking possession of the ball right here, going straight up on the bridge right now, Rallo. Just throwing it straight back down onto the other side, to the Demigod side. Looks like they do have that going straight up, gaining that speed right there, stealing the boost right there, jumping up. Going straight on the halo, going straight on the bridge. Gonna slam that in. Oh! Oh!
Action restarts.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, they score. The arena revs up again.
With 2 minutes left, indeed, could this be an overtime for them? Looks like Rallo has taken possession of the ball here, throwing that up. The ball is just going airborne, gonna get swooped right there by Shredda. Shredda is just playing that corner right there, passing it straight back to Can Jam, pissing that back to Rilo. Just going back, trying to just see who can gain pressure of the ball there, lapping it straight onto the blue side of the court. They do take possession of the ball right here, just passing it right to Shredda. Oh, nice save right there. Gotta love that save. Looks like they are just playing that right there, just taking that straight under Sewer. Cookies running right towards the ball, taking it, gaining ball control right there, throwing it straight onto the other side to that corner. Looks like Electro does take a possession, running up, gonna jump up right there, throwing it over. To get stolen right there by Money here, throwing it over to his teammates, throwing up. The passing play doesn't really work out in their favor right there. Just gonna go straight up back to Rilo here.
And that concludes today's match. To all our viewers, whether you're watching from the comforts of Earth or the frontier of human exploration, Thank you for tuning in. The beauty of drift.
That did really set the tone for him. But I think Outlaws can get this in like the next round or the next round here with their defensive play, with their offensive play, just a back and forth here, just with that defensive barrier, just punishing the other teams in general. Just as you can see from this replay, just brilliant defense here.
And we are underway.
That was a big save indeed. Looks like Shredder is taking possession, almost in with another save right there. Just great defensive play right here. Looks like they are taking possession. Throw. It looks like Cookie is taking this up, going straight on the top, trying to look for a pass right here. Just chucking it whenever he thinks is the best way to chuck it here. Cookie's taking just punting him with that defensive play. Kanjam does take possession of the ball. Cookie's trying to tackle here, going straight onto the other side. Looks like they are taking possession, throwing it straight down, straight back and forth here. Going straight back down to his teammate, going straight on. Kanjam is taking possession of here. Just the Geo is straight and bouncing out there, going from Sewer as Raleigh's taking possession of the ball, going straight to goal. Cookie slapping it out of his hand. Wow. Looks like he does take possession, throwing it to their side. Nice pass to his teammate right there. Looks like it's just going to be another passing play. Going to go straight up. Ooh, nice pass play from Nest here. Looks like he is just going. Willis being trying to slam that in. Oh, nice save, chucking it over to the field with a long shot. Could this be in? Oh!
I can't believe my optical sensors.
First point to Outlaws in the lead. That was a brilliant long
And
shot.
we're back.
Oh, Knight, what was your thoughts on that long shot there? Looks like Cam Jam has chucked it over there, going straight from Stewart right there. The ball is just going out as Shredder has possession of the ball, chucking that over. Nice pass play to Rallo right here. There, Rowlett does take possession right there. Just getting knocked out. Pressure. Shredder does take control, throwing that up. Another pass play. Gets swooped. The ball does get swooped here, but gets swooped back to Shredder. Gets swooped back to Cookie. Wow, just going straight down from Sewer right there. Playing from Sewer here. Going straight to the side. Almost to Cookie right there. Shredder does take possession. Booming that straight back down the field, but doesn't really, boom it. Looks like time is of the essence right now because we are at 8 seconds remaining. Could they get this? Oh, nice defensive play right there. Nice goalie. Looks like it's going to Rallo right here, and the game has just come concluded to the end with a W from Outlaws. Night people in the chat are saying they cannot hear you on the stream.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fun. Hopefully that was just on. Hopefully that was just on the transition. Maybe it wasn't, but either way, we do appreciate you. And back into the action we go for round number 3 of this back and forth.
Back and forth indeed. Looks like Cookie Virtual is taking possession of the ball here in the beginning of the round. Going in, almost in. Straight passing play right there. Oh, and a swoosh straight into that goal. Gotta love that play right there. Looks like they are going. Looks like Electro is taking pressure on Nest right here. Trying to look for a pass right here. Throws it. Doesn't really get team doesn't really get the pass from there. But it's just going to get swooped over by the other team as Outlaws is currently in the lead right now with 0-1 here with 4 minutes remaining on the clock. Looks like they are rushing straight under from Sewers. Rallo does take a possession of the ball. Just find a way, swooping that up, passing it straight up to his teammate, passing it straight, but it just gets snatched.
Yeah, I think I gave the wrong point there. Demigods scored that first point on the blue goal, which was Outlaws, so Demigods going up 1-0. Rilo answering back quickly, though, and that point doesn't matter much. We're tied 1 round apiece. We're tied 1 point apiece in round number 3 of this best of 5. Here we go.
Looks like they are taking possession of the ball here. Looks like Cookie Virtual has taken that, going and just swooping that, going straight under from Sewer right here. Nice juke play right there. Gotta say, love it. Just passing that to his team. Rallo's just saying, no, I'm gonna take the ball. Booming that. Could that be a long shot in? Oh, so close. Oh, just get that in there.
I think that was a self goal. That was indeed a self goal coming in from the Demigod side. That was a follow-up that came in from the Outlaws' end. A great corner shot, but I think everyone piling in to try and stop it ended up pushing it through. So an unfortunate reality of that one getting locked in. But either way, Outlaws are up 2-1 now, and we battle for contention in the corner. Demigods looking for a quick answer back as they finally put some pressure into the Outlaws zone, but it's quickly knocked away. Skitsmix going to try and push up and scoop it up off the back end from Shredda, but Shredda's just a little bit ahead of him. Finds the underhand off of a beautiful tackle. You love to see that kind of coordination. That's exactly the kind of play. Look at the replay again. Perfectly timed tackle to push the goalie out of the goal and open it up for a shot.
Looks like I gotta say that was a brilliant goal. Looks like Mix has been taking possession of the ball, passing that straight down to Cookie. They are playing on their side. Rallo's just pushing it as they are battling at that corner right there. Just taking that up. Cookie does take possession right there as the ball slams out. Rallo rushing over to the other side, just chucking that down from midfield right here. Just taking that straight up there, just on their side, going straight back on the sewer as they are rushing up to the other side here. Looks like Morse has possession. Just money. Could this be in? Oh, just hitting that corner of the rim right there.
Nicely knocked away, this time not knocked into their goal. As Shredda picks it up quickly on the corner, passes the Cam Jam, and that one does go in. It's another point for Outlaws, 4-1. And
Outlaws.
I don't think anyone picked up the ball on Outlaws' side, or on Demigod's side. Not sure what's going on there. I don't think that counted as a goal, but if it did, that would have been weird.
Oh, it's on!
But either way, they do manage to go back in, pick it up, and pass it through the midfield. Cam Jam right there and tackled by RJ, looking to scoop it up and start a push through the middle. Shredda instead swats it away, was trying to work their way up through the midfield. They need support from the team as Cam Jam comes in to reinforce, and now they just got to buy time. They've got the 4-1 lead. 40 seconds left on the clock. If they just keep it out of the hands of their opponent, this is going to be a round win for Outlaws. They're going to go up 2-1 in the series and just need one more to lock in a series win. I think they just took a loss as well to... I'm blanking on the team, but a nice point either way from, again, the Outlaws piling onto their lead now 5-1.
Play recommences.
Gotta love that. Looks like Cookie Virtual has taken possession of the ball here. We are near the end game. Can Demigods at least get like one more point before the game ends?
Nope.
But this might come to our conclusion here, folks, because they are just chucking it here and back and forth with a win from Outlaws.
Indeed, we've got 1 or 2 more rounds left in this best of 5, with Demigods taking the first round, Outlaws taking the second or 2 rounds. And what are we going to get for round number 4? That is the question. All right, both teams bringing their A games. Both teams putting up stellar defensive plays, really great defensive holds, and ultimately keeping the scoreline super close. I'm incredibly impressed with how close this series has been so far this afternoon. And that's what we're going to get for this one and the next one. You know, we are guaranteed good quality matches from the APAC region with the teams that are playing in this Final Four. So do look forward to more games ahead, and make sure you jump into that main stream, which is live right now. If you want to catch more action and get a little bit more Orion Drift in your bones. We are ready to go for round number 4 as both teams set up after their minute break, and we get ready to dive in again with Demigods on the red team but in blue, and Outlaws on the blue team but in red.
Let's see if Demigods can step up their offensive play this game, as they are, but they do have that good defensive play, I do admit. But if they do put up that offensive play, I think they do have a shot at getting pretty far. Looks like Rallo does take possession of the ball here, just playing this at this corner, just gonna take that, chucking that. It's just gonna be just straight to RJ right here. Gonna just boom that over to that side. Just gets hit by the wall right there from Cookie. Just going straight up here. Cookie's taking possession, but the ball is just going loose right here. Just nice pass play right to nest. Doesn't really work out there. Looks like the Mix is taking that. Gonna be straight back to RJ. Going straight on the bridge. Could this be in?
Nope.
Not quite, not quite.
Gonna push it away. Shredda's gonna scoop it up. Back through the midfield, up to the top, up to Halo. Gonna look for a pass. No, it's interrupted as Cookie Virtual sends themselves forward, scoops it up, starts to dribble down to the bottom line, the bottom corner, trying to get a little extra boost, does scoop it up, does still have ball, can't get past the defense though, and it's redirected. Rilo and Shredda going to take their attempt at pushing again up to that front line, again looking for a shot on goal. Shredda finds it, but it goes just a little bit wide.
I gotta say, they are really punishing. Both teams are really punishing each other with their defensive plays here. Gotta say, Cookie does take possession of the ball, going straight in, almost there, but with a wicked save right there, going straight under from Sewer, as Cookie Virtual does take it to the side that they have it on. Just gonna jump straight back on to Nest here, shucking it down. Could that be
shot.
in? Oh, boom!
I can't believe my optical
First point to Demigods.
You love to see that huge toss coming in. That is a long goal. And those are not easy throws to make. There's a bit of a headbutt there in the midfield, pushes each other away. A nice cross pass that goes a little wide, and Skitsmix able to clear it out for their team. We're going to try and set up for another goal, but it's Demigods in the lead early off of a long-range shot, and it's set up this aggression for Outlaws. They want to push forward. They want to win this third round. They want to lock in a best-of-5 W, and they have the opportunity in front of them. And so I think a little more aggression is coming out of them now as they're down a point early in round number 4.
Looks like they are taking that the nice passing play right there, going straight under the Sewer right here as Cookie Virtual does take possession of the ball here. Just getting knocked into that corner, getting slammed back there. Raleigh going straight up to the ball. Doesn't really work out here. Getting swooshed back to his teammate, almost to the rim of the goal. Just nice passing play entirely as the ball is just getting knocked back and forth. Cam Jam just hitting that over. Rallis just taking it, slamming it back straight onto the other side. Yeah.
Battling up in the midfield. Shredda able to deny the pass, but Cookie Virtual scoops up the swatted ball. They'll get interrupted by Rilo as they try to pass it up to King Pao. And now King Pao looking for a shot on goal. Electro denies it. Quickly scooped up by Cookie Virtual. Another shot on goal. Another shot on goal. Everyone brawling in front of the Outlaws goal in blue, but nothing coming through. Great denial from Outlaws as they're still down just 1.
Really felt like a boxing match right there with how much defensive play was at that goal right there back then. Looks like the Shredda does take possession, going and slamming it right into the goal. Gotta love that. 1-1. It is neck to neck here, folks, with 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining on the clock.
Drift ball frenzy.
They are going to be taking that possession here. Getting just hit right there. Looks like they are just taking this under Sewers right now as Rowlett does take a possession, going straight into the goal, shocking at it with another play onto the board. Going to Outlaws.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Has a couple of quick points in succession come through for Outlaws, and just like that, they take away a 1-point lead and take the lead. Rilo looking to push up and add on to that score line, and Cam Jam slams it in for 3 points in a row from Outlaws with 30 seconds left. They just turned it on in the late stages of this round, and Demigods having a hard time again, just getting the shots on goal they need once the defense sets up. They've had some open goal shots, but Electro there, Cam Jam there, it makes it very difficult to put that point into goal. And Electro says, I've been goalie all around. I want to try and get my hand at a shot on their goal, but can't quite get it. And because of that, it's an open goal. King Pao scoops it up, puts Demigods up a point, but that is going to be it, I think, unless for some reason they try and get a little extra. No, they'll slam it in, and
heart of Earth
that will be the series. It is Outlaws taking our best-of-5 win and wrapping up round number 2 in this 3-round series. We've got another game coming up, which we will be sure to jump into shortly, but we are going to go to a brief break. When we come back, the final round of the round robin. At the end, we will have 2 teams advancing into the grand finals to crown our Pioneer Cup champion for the APAC region. Do not miss it. Don't go anywhere. 2 streams live. Check out the other one, but also get ready for more because it's coming. welcome back. We're diving in. We've got Outlaws versus ODODO to kick off our round here. And we're into the action. Outlaws will be on the blue side, and ODODO on the red side. We'll adjust that team in a second. Don't know how we got to North Galaxy Drifters, but there's a lot of teams out there. Either way, ODODO looking for the setup in green, and on the red team, Outlaws in blue, and on the blue team, thankfully, it's easier to discern this time as CamJam swats it away over to the red side. But no, Arc is there in the midfield. ODODO looking for the setup to cross there. Great pass work from Destroyer, pass back to Sexy Aura, and the shot goes just a touch high, but the follow-up finds True.
Amazing goal right there. Going straight from Electro right now, just stopping, doing his usual stop right here at Nest. Just going to see where he needs to go to pass that. He's going straight up to Halo right now, passing it straight up to his teammate right there. Back and forth. With these passes, just going to go to Arc right here. Just gets slapped out of his hand and slapped back down. Straight back to him. Just playing this really down that logo right now. Going this right back up to the midfield here. Yeah.
Arc going to grab the ball and try and work their way up and down through the sewers, but Rilo is there to intercept it. Has a little support from their team as well, and is going to dribble their way up to the shot on goal, but no, Skits interrupts it, swats it away. Electro on the back line, still able to scoop it up as Destroyer tries to push forward with their team, does get their hand on the ball, does look for an opportunity to cross pass to Skit. Arc is pushing up as well. Skit's going to get the chance, and it's going to be denied by CamJam with some great defense.
I have to say this is a really intense match here as both teams are competing for a spot in the finals here. Gotta say it's getting really intense as we are still at 1-0 right now. Looks like they are going to be passing straight up to Nest here. Nice ceiling carve on the ceiling right now, but just gets punted from the other team right here. Looks like Rallo is taking possession. Nice juke, passing it straight to his teammates, passing it straight back. Could this be in? But no, gets deflected and straight back to Electro, passing it back. Nice defensive play here from ODODO.
Yeah, they're putting together a good wall, and they're keeping the pressure on from Outlaws' side. They're not able to get it out of the midfield, and the ball stays in front of the goal of ODODO, making it hard for them to get into a rhythm. But finally, they'll get past all that defense, maybe get a chance on goal, a good cross opportunity. They're going to be the knocky. No, they tried to go for the tackle shot, but just missed wide on the cross pass to Arc. And now Arc trying to get control, can't, with Shredda scooping it up and knocking it down to the midfield. Ooh, that's an open goal shot, and it flutters its way in. Outlaws get on the board with their first point to tie it up 1-1 with 2 minutes.
We are at 1-1 here, folks, with 2 minutes on the clock here. Looks like they're going to be taking possession of the ball. Ooh, nice regrab right there. First time I've seen a regrab in a while. Looks like they are on Nest here, booming that across the court here, going straight up. The ball is just midair right now for anybody to take here. Looks like somebody is going to be taking that. Looks like it's just going to be passed straight up to Nest here. Wow. Looks like Arc has been taking possession here. Boom that across to the other side.
Skit trying to get control in the midfield as Destroyer has a nice bit of boost to get all the way up to the top. They're going to fall all the way back down, try to go for the cross pass. Maybe they heard their teammate call out for it, but it was a little late on that pass, and so Electro able to get their hands on it. That goes down to Skit. Skit tries to knock it over, but can't. And no real shot attempt on goal for Outlaws. Tied 1-1 still with a minute left now. As that time ticks down, we could get closer and closer to an overtime, but I do think Shredda might find themselves a little bit of a 1v2 opportunity. CamJam also in the corner could help with the tackle. The cross pass, the slam in, no! They just missed it on the cross pass, and you hate to see those close goals go just a touch wide.
To say that was a wicked save back there in defensive play, but almost talking about defense play with the W save right there. Gotta say that was brilliant. It looks like this is Destroyer is just gonna boom it onto the other side here as they are rushing up straight up the bridge right here. Doesn't really get control of the ball right there as it's just going back to Shredda right here as they are just fighting for this ball right here. going onto their side. Looks like is taking possession here, just throwing that up to his, but just slapping that back over the Destroyer.
And Destroyer and Arc trying to work together to work past this defense, but they can't. And time ticks down. We're going into overtime, matter of fact, as we are now out of it. The first team to score takes this first round in our final best of 5. I do believe Outlaws need the win if they want to be in contention for second place. I think ODO are undefeated, so they've got 2 wins already. So they are advancing on, and there's a nice goal slammed in for Outlaws. Overtime goes to them for round 1, and
whether you're on Earth or gazing at
we're into it now. 2-1 opener. This series, I think, is going to go 4 or 5 rounds, just like we've had all day today. Both of these, I mean, all these teams, all 4 of these teams in this round robin, pretty much, I feel like all pretty equally matched. I really am looking forward to the grand finals to see who we're going to get there. Again, right now in the standings, ODO is won 2 games. Jim's Drifters has won a game, and Outlaws have won a game. Demigods have lost 2 games. So Demigods are playing spoiler to Jim Drifters right now over in the other arena. That's being broadcast live by Palador and Punda and Aiden. And here we have ODO, the undefeated team, who again is guaranteed to advance on, going up against Outlaws, who need this win. So for them to lock in an early round win is pretty dang important for them right now, but they've got 2 more to lock in. They got 2 more to go. And we're ready to dive into round number 2 in this best of 5.
I have to say, I think 2 of these teams have a chance at taking this home here. Looks like the match is starting right here as Rallo's just getting taken by the ball right here, as Arch has the ball right here, just going straight up, chucking that over straight up the bridge, but it's just going to get stolen right here. Just going to pass that straight up to his teammate right there, going straight up to the goal. Doesn't quite make that in due to the geometry here. But another pass straight up to the other team, going straight up to him right here, going straight up, back over, just back and forth here, folks.
Yep, in the midfield, Rilo looking for a little something. Arc gonna get it, and they're gonna come barreling in with a huge fast play onto the corner shot that goes a little wide. Skit tries to follow it up, but can as ODO and Outlaws again start their first minute scoreless. Skit is able to get a little bit of boost, which is what they wanted, but ultimately not enough to really get a good shot or a good pass. Sexy Aura just barely saves that long shot on goal and is able to swat it all the way down to the other team's corner. Pretty nicely done there as Aqua and Destroyer look to set something up, but can't, and Cam Jam. Rilo gonna battle for contention and eventually get the ball back into Outlaws' hands. No, quickly intercepted in front of Outlaws zone. Arc finds an opportunity. The shot finally goes in, and it's ODO in the lead, 1-0.
Gotta say, that was just an amazing goal right there. Just slamming that in. Looks like he's gonna be taking his play from Nesh, trying to find where he wants to pass this. Great setup here, by the way. You have to say they are pushing that straight up, but it's just going to be taken from the other team as they are just fighting right on there on Halo right there. Gotta say, it is going straight up to Nest right here as the ball is just getting loose, just going up and down.
Nice.
With a great steal right. Save.
There you go. Electro again with another save, pushes up, knocks it away. Sexy Aura keeps it in their team's favor as Arc vaults quickly back, and again, Sexy Aura on the back line, keeping the pressure going for their team. ODO already up a point, looking to put more on the board. Outlaws yet to get something locked in round 2. They got a round 1 win, but it was only by a point. And like I said, I think we're destined for a couple more than just 3 rounds in this best of 5 this afternoon, but we will see as Shredda goes up for the ball. Relo able to scoop it up. Maybe go for a cross pass here. Maybe an opportunity for a shot on goal, and there it is, denied by Sexy Aura. A great save.
That was a really great save indeed. Looks like they are taking a look. Like Shredda has Electro does take possession of the ball, going on table right here, trying to find a play. They aren't really tackling him there. They just hit him right there and now. Looks like they are going really back. Looks like they're going to be chucking that over as he's just going to be keeping the ball in his hand as they are lining up for the defense play. Destroyer passing it over, but gets swooped by an intersection by Shredder. Looks like he is going to be taking this on Halo, passing it straight up to his teammate, but still gets intercepted by Arc. Wow.
Keeping it close. The back and forth continues, but the pressure's into the zone of ODODO right now for, well, not long. They'll quickly scoop up that ball, push it back into Outlaw zone, keep their lead and pressure going here, but the defense from Outlaws still stands strong. Shredder swats the ball away. A good ceiling card from Arc, a pass to Skit, and another missed shot, just a touch high. Good defense from Electro. Gets the ball out of the zone, but Destroyer scoops it up to keep the pressure on for this ODOD squad. Rilo with a good little intercept there, though. Does get things going. Shredder up front, ready for the pass. Scoops that up nicely. They're going to go for a shot on goal, the 1v1, and there it is. Wonderful pass work that puts Outlaws on the board.
My optical sensors.
We are neck and neck here, folks, going into the end game right here with only 40 seconds right on the clock. Their Skid is taking possession, but gets stolen right there by Cam Jam, chucking that over. Is that almost in? The ball is just bouncing. The long shot didn't work in their favor right here. Skid is taking possession of the ball, just waiting back down, going straight up to the goal right here. Doesn't really nice defensive play right here, going to Shredder. Looks like they are just playing in this little corner right here, just back and forth as they are going under sewer, chucking that way up, going straight up to Halo, but pass from Rallo right now, just going straight down. Yeah.
Sudden death.
Rilo going to be battling for contention. There is Arc and Shredder and Destroyer continue to vie for ball control in the midfield, just out in front of Outlaws zone now, and Electro, a key element to this Outlaws squad, continues to be a great goalie, redirecting the ball, stopping momentum, and again, denying a lot of shots. A good clear all the way down for Rilo, who scoops that up, maybe getting an opportunity for a shot up to Shredder, and in the 1v1, slams in. Rilo
The beauty of drift ball
pushes it in. I don't know to that point the score. I think it did.
Powering down until our next meeting.
I think Outlaws scored there, yeah, and I think they got that round win in overtime. And so it's 2 rounds into Outlaws' hands now, and that's when things get a little dicey, Retro, because, well, it's only one more to go, and they've got themselves a 3-0 clean sweep in this best of 5 against ODODO, who's undefeated so far too. I mean, these could be the 2 teams that we see in a best of 7 finals in the next round over on that mainstream. I do think this could be a preview, depending on how the other match goes. And we might have like a pretty close tiebreaker scenario where we have to go by round points 1 when it comes down to who will take that second place advancement on, and then obviously first and second will battle it out in a best of 7. So we have a few more games left ahead of us. There's still action to be fought out, but we're getting close. This could be it as we do get ready for round number 3. Outlaws lead 2-0.
Lead indeed. The ball is about to kick off any moment here, folks. As it kicks off, we are going into a fresh, brand new round. As Shredder does take possession of the ball, going straight from Halo, going straight from table right here. Oh, looks like they are playing it in that corner right there. As Rallo does take possession of them as they are fighting. As Arc is gonna be taking that, booming that out, going straight to Destroyer. Nice pass. Just rushing straight up to the goal, almost in. Yikes.
Good denial from Outlaws. Defense coming in clutch, as it has. A shot over the back, I think. Goes to the midfield, but doesn't connect, and Destroyer has been doing a great job of keeping the pressure on for the ODOD squad, and I feel like even though the pressure's on consistently for ODOD, the defense keeps being on for Outlaws, but as I say that, finally ODOD thread the needle, put up a point. And they've had early leads before and still haven't locked in a round, so it doesn't mean everything, as Electro
The arena
takes their
revs up
time
again.
before pushing forward.
Electro doing his daily stroll up there at Nest. Just gonna take that. Is he gonna pass or is he gonna solo here? Bouncing straight up to his teammate there. But it's just gonna be hit right there and then onto the other side as they're gonna be taking that under sewer. Could this be it? Oh, hitting that on top of Nest, not really in their favor as they're going to be chucking that back down, but it's going straight to Cactus Jam right here as he's just going to get punted by Arc as they are playing in that corner right there for ball control. But a nice pass right there.
Strata going to lob it up to Rilo, and they're going to look for something over in this corner, try and set up something to stack heavy here. Defense not behind that goal, so an opportunity if they were to get ball control for Outlaws, and instead Rilo goes for the reset, knocks it back to Cam. Shredda tries to get control, tries to go for a bit of a dribble, but it's in this midfield we go. Arc for the 1v1 and a great bit of juke work.
You can
That
feel that one
puts
coming.
ODOD up 2-0 in round 2. Outlaws, although they have 2 rounds, still haven't put any points up on the board, and there's 2:40 on the clock.
We're back on it. Oh,
Yeah, I gotta say
here
they
we
are
go.
really stepping up their offensive game. This game, ODO has looks like the Ralo is taking possession of the ball, waiting the pass from his teammates. From there, he's just gonna chuck that straight down Cam Jam, just straight back. Oh, wicked
Camera issues.
score right there.
Wicked score indeed. Outlaws are on the board. Took them a little time, but they've got that 1 point. And now Skit and Destroyer pushing up, looking to answer back, and so quick.
Unbelievable.
ODOD keep the 2-0 lead. Outlaws not able to really get a lot of momentum right now.
That was fast indeed, as
Ball
Electro
to play.
does take possession of the ball here. Going straight from Halo right here, taking the ball back for himself, but just getting punted from Destroyer right there, as they do take Skid does take possession of the ball here. But it's gonna be a back and forth here as he's gonna throw that down straight to Destroyer, but gets nice defensive play right there from Outlaws. Wow, just keeping them at bay here. So Sid is going to be pushing that down to his teammate. It's just going to go straight up to them on bridge.
Yeah, really nice tackle coming through from 2 of the players on Outlaws to disrupt that play, and not able to get it out through the midfield, which is a problem. With 1:20 left, they need 2 points on the board to take this series win. And, well, they can put up a couple of quick points, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I feel like ODOD are locking it in with this 2-point lead right now, and they have a lot of ball control and a lot of the pressure in the Outlaws zone.
We are at 1 minute remaining on the clock, 3-1. Can Outlaws get a couple more points on the board before the game ends? Time is of the essence right here, as Destroyer does take possession of the ball, handing that off the Skid right there, as he's just going to throw that in. Oh, bouncing back and forth, but still doesn't get that in.
Crazy how that doesn't go in. Just dribbles back and forth between the bars right in front of the goal, and fortunate enough for the Outlaws squad, it doesn't go through, but time again continues to tick down. 25 seconds left and counting. Shredda not putting the ball in the goal. Rilo not putting the ball in the goal. They need to go for some long shots, but they don't have that open goal available to them.
Looks like Destroyer is taking possession as we are at 10 seconds remaining. Can he get at least 1 more point before the game ends? Passing it up to the arch, but still just playing on the ground. 3 seconds on the clock. Could this be another score? Estrella takes possession of the ball. Are they going to play it, or is the ball going to hit the ground? And the ball hits the ground with the round going to ODO.
And I said at the start that I felt like we were going to a round 4, and I
This is Sir Demont
certainly
signing off and reminding
was
you
accurate.
that driftball is the universal language.
2-1 lead for Outlaws on rounds 1, but that was a nice, clean comeback from ODODO, and ODODO have not lost a series yet today. They are currently 2-0 in this round robin. Outlaws are 1-1. As they did take a loss very early on to Jim's Drifters. Jim's Drifters right now going up against, I don't believe we ever caught a game of theirs. Oh, Demigods, who have 2 losses. So Demigods are out, playing spoiler for Jim's Drifters, I do think we could have a real chance where Outlaws and Jim's Drifters both win, and then we have a contention for second place.
Balls resting in the ring.
Contention for second place indeed. Yeah.
Oops. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button there. But in time for clock start, as we're into round number 4 in this best of 5, and again, Outlaws in blue, ODOD in green on the red side.
Looks like Aura has the possession of the ball right here. Just going to slam that over to the other side, but it's just going to be picked up by Rallo here. Nice play with the ball control right there. Just going to get swooped right back there to Arc. Arc's just running, gaining that speed. Love there. Love that speed as he's chucking that over to his teammates. Doesn't really play in the favor right now as Shredda tries to get that, but looks like it's just going to be picked up and it's just going to be jumbled in that corner right there.
Yeah, into the sewers and in the midfield. Rylo's going to try for the 1v1 challenge alone. The pass to the back, and Shredda, no. Good defense. And over the top, the follow-up. Finally, Outlaws take the lead. And again, the 2-1 round lead means that if they win here, they've got themselves their first loss delivered to ODODO and potentially a rematch ahead of them if they do go on to the grand finals live on the main stream. So action still left ahead of both of these teams. It's a great intercept from Rilo. Stops ODOD from setting up, and now Rilo trying to sprint forward. Going to go for the 1v2. Takes the shot, and Destroyers interrupts it with a good push out.
Looks like Shredda has taken possession of the ball right now. She's going straight back to Rilo. Going straight back to right here as they are just doing those passing plays right there as they are going straight from midfield here. Trying to line up their plays right now. Electro staying in the back here, gathering their boost here as Rallo is going up. Nice play right there from Cam Jam, slamming that in. Just going to go up the skid here as the goal is technically open right now. Yeah.
Got to take advantage of those open goal opportunities, but sometimes they're the hardest ones to take advantage of. Sometimes those are the hardest shots to make, as that was a unfortunate back pass from Rilo that nearly cost them. Almost a cross to their opponent, and finally does get it up. Pretty good pass all the way over to Shredda on the other side of the arena, in front of the zone of ODODO, but not quite in ODOD's zone. Again, just battling in the midfield for ball control. Cam Jam has it. Shredda doesn't quite feel comfortable with the ball getting delivered to them, so tries to pass it back, and Electro will scoop it up and try and set something up from the top.
Have to say, with these 4v4 arenas, teamwork is of the essence here as they are going to be chucking that down. Nice pass play right there, almost to the goal. Oh, they are just playing that ball in that corner. Just a big brawl right there. But overall, Rallo does take possession, shucking that over to his teammate right there. Shredda going in. Could this be in? But just gets stopped from Destroyer right there as the ball is going straight on the bridge as Arc is taking it from the other side, but gets knocked by Cam Jam. Cam Jam could take this in, but gets knocked again by Destroyer.
And now Shredda looking for the push up here, looking to set something up for their team. Maybe another point on the board. Cross to Rilo. No, denied. Knocked away by ODODO. Outlaws have the 1-point lead. Electro has the ball. They have control. Time of the minute 36 ticks away.
It's all about defensive play here for Outlaws, trying to make sure that the other team does not get a score on the board to have their chance here. Looks like Skid does take possession. The ball is going chucking down. Could this be in? Oh, with the grass slam! That perfect long shot right there. Going to ODODO. Electro takes the ball here. Just waiting on Nash, waiting for that play here. Just seeing where the pass to his teammate. Just taking his lovely time here.
Tries
to
get
throw that up the bridge.
Yeah, Sexy Aura is there. Electro battling with Aura. Skit gets control. Some tackles up through the midfield, and we brawl down in the sewers, but the goal is open. And Org finds it in. ODOD put another point on the board. They're up 2-1 with 40 seconds left.
Time is of the essence here, as we are still 2-1 here. But Outlaws, I know they could get another point on the board in the manager's time. Looks like Electro does have possession of the ball. Waiting, just going to chuck that over, but just gets swooped in. And throw, could this be in? Oh, perfect long shot. Gotta say, they need to step up that defensive play right there.
Balls in
One
motion.
right here.
We're going to a round 5 at this point. Pretty much locked in. Unless they can score a really quick couple of 2 points. That one, great denial coming in from the defense. Super good goalie bits there. And even if they had scored, I don't think they would have had time to put another point on the board.
Or the frontier
So,
of human exploration.
we now
Thank
wait
you for tuning in.
to dive in to round number 5 and
Our appreciation
take a
for
quick
you,
look
our
at some
fans.
of those
This is Sir Dimwire,
match
powering
replays.
down until our
Because there have
next
been quite a
meeting in the
good
stars.
couple of good denials on goal, a couple of great defensive holds, and some great pass plays that have led us to this round 5. It's what you love to see when you get down into the final 4, and yeah, we've got Destroyer and Arc showing some love to the camera now, which we do appreciate. And big shout out to all the players in the matches this afternoon. It's only possible because so many folks are so enthusiastic about Orion Drift that we're able to do tournaments like this. So we really do appreciate your support. Appreciate you all tuning in, and I appreciate everybody that has been playing. I mean, what is it, 16
Players
teams
approach the
for
ball.
APAC, 48 teams for EU, and 115 for NA. It's awesome. It's incredible. There's a tremendous amount of participation that's coming in from the OD community, and we love to see it.
And
Here we
we
go
are underway.
into our final round of this best of 5. One of these teams, well, I think maybe both of these teams are going to go on to the finals. We'll have to see where it all lies once. I think actually if Outlaws win, they will go on for the rematch because I think ODODO beat Jim's Drifters. And so if Outlaws beats ODODO, then they do automatically qualify in as that second team. So Outlaws need the win here if they do want to advance on, and they don't need ODODO locking in an early 1-point
What a
lead.
goal.
Yeah, that was pretty bad right there, but it looks like they are going straight on the nest here as Electro does take possession of the ball here. Just
And
waiting
we're
for his
back.
pass play, wasting a little bit of time here, just waiting to see where it's best. Looks like he's going to go down, just brute forces through that, going to chuck that straight up to his teammate, Cam Jim. He's going to throw that straight up to Rallo right there, almost in as they are playing from clock right here, as they are just booming that off the other side right there. It's just going to be a back and forth pass play here. Art does take possession of the ball, rushing under sewers, going up. Could this be in with a slam? Oh, hitting the rim.
Just
Yikes.
a little wide. Tries to cross it up to Destroyer, and now Rilo trying to work the ball out of the zone, pushing it up to Sexiora, who's coming in from the midfield. Rilo's still able to scoop it up, though, and we can see Electro on the back line just patiently waiting. Cam Jam trying to dribble down through the sewers, but fumbles it, and Destroyer gets a nice little pickup, an opportunity to take the shot on goal. Electro is exposed, and it follows through. ODODO are 2 up now with 3 minutes left. And I think if Outlaws do lose, then Jim Drifters, well, actually, I don't know. What's the overall? We have to see what the overall scores are for the other teams, if those have been recorded yet. It does look like Jim's Drifters did win. So, yeah, if Outlaws do lose, then they are out. Jim's Drifters advances on, and we have a rematch of ODODO and Jim's Drifters for the grand finals. Either way, a great series, and, well, right now, a good back and forth. Outlaws lock in their first point in round 5.
We are 2-1 here, folks, as we have ODODO taking possession of the ball here. Destroyer with somebody on the back, gonna pass that straight in, but gets just hit by Cam Jam, but a slam straight into the goal right there from
ODODO with another point locked in on the red team as Outlaws go down
live once
to
more.
2. And let's see, can they add 2 goals in 2 minutes? That's the time frame they have right now, and I think that's very doable. Fumbles like that don't help. Any more goals added on by ODO could be the nail in the coffin, so they really need to start coming alive here. Shredda does a bit of juke work, works all the way up to the goal, but can't quite put it in. And that kind of ignites the fire and the speed of ODODO as you see them sprinting up for more shots, and an open goal opportunity that Arc takes and locks in 4-1. This is a runaway train if Outlaws don't do something now.
Looks like Rallo did take possession, pinning out over the Shredda. Will this be in here? W passing play, but gets just deflected by Arc right there, pushing them back here. As Skid does take possession of the ball, throwing it down. Could this be another point? As they are just fighting over the ball right here. As Destroyer does take this possession, running up, gonna pass it straight over to his teammates. Just gonna go right back to Rallo here, rushing towards that goal, just running, passing straight to Cam Jam, running it back. That is amazing.
Yeah, a good bit of speed and, I mean, just grinding skill that these players demonstrate on the regular. That sets them up for big plays like that. A huge long-range toss to Shredda. Outlaws put a second point on the board. 40 seconds left isn't impossible. And maybe they could put 2 more points on the board to push it to overtime. I think that's about all the time they have. As Skit double stacks up for the toss to Arc, and Arc can't quite scoop it up to take that shot on goal. ODOD still with a 2-point lead, though, and 30 seconds left. Time is the enemy of Outlaws.
Oh, I think they could get another point here, going in a 3-3. Like you said, it couldn't be impossible to take this from Outlaws. But it looks like Rallo does take possession of the ball here, chucking it down almost. Cam Jam playing it up top in that corner of Bridge, passing it straight back, just going straight back to Arc. Arc is taking possession with 5 seconds remaining on the clock. We are almost at the end here, folks, as they are just gonna slam that straight down with a W from ODO. Oh,
A lot of O's. And that's it for us on Stream 2. We hand it off to the grand finals, where it is going to be Jim's Drifters versus ODODO, currently undefeated in this round robin. So, jump on over to that stream. We appreciate you all stopping by. Until next time, my name's been Nightfire2E's, my co-caster Retro. Stay classy. Orion Drift VRML is brought to you by Another Axiom, Helga, the esports manager. Thanks for watching VRML.